you guys, Ashley here for Not Too Shabby, and today I'm going to be sharing with you this really cute picnic scene card. I shared this for a design team project a few weeks back, and a number of you asked if I would make a process video of it. So today I'm sharing a process video for this card. I'll put the links below for the products I use, and if you do head over to the Not Too Shabby shop, you can use my coupon code CraftyGirl to save 10%. So the first stamp set that I use is this summer picnic one by Sunny Studio. It is oh so cute. This one is by Avery L. It is the Woodland Wonders, and I use these little tiny critters and also the banner and sentiment for this card. This one is by Waffle Flowers. It's called Welcome Spring, and I use that really cute little lamb, as well as I took the little bunny ears and chopped off those little bows so that she'd have little bows, and look how cute she just lays on her tummy there. It's so sweet. This is another stamp set I used. It's by Sunny Studio, and I use that pinwheel. This stamp set's called Stars and Stripes, and I'm just showing how I popped that little pinwheel in there. I used a number of dies. So the first dies that I used is this Lawn Fawn large stitch rectangle stackables, and Jamie now has the cross-stitched one in the shop, so I'll link that below. It would work just as well as this stitched one. And then this is the Avery L Wonky Stitches die, and I use the largest die there. I'm in love with this die. It has such nice stitching you can see there. And then it also shows up on the grass. I'll also be using, this shows a few different dies, but I'm going to be using the Lawn Fawn the Lawn Fawn Grassy Border die there for the grass. And then the paper pads I'll be using is by Lawn Fawn. This one's the Let's Polka in the Meadow, and I'll be using the blue polka dot and the green polka dot. And then for the background paper, I'll be using this Lawn Fawn Perfectly Plaid set, and I'll be using this really pretty plaid with the peaches and all those nice summery colors. So to get started, I'm just showing, I'll be using Memento Tuxedo black ink to stamp out my images. And I had this sped up pretty quickly because I'm just stamping them all out there. So I'm stamping out this tree. I love that tree. This picnic stamp set is so amazing. I just feel like you could make so many different scene cards with it. It has all the elements for scene cards, which is one of my favorite types of projects to make. So you could stamp out a ton of those trees and it would look really cool. And that picnic basket with that little blanket sticking out of it is just adorable. So I actually stamped that, and it didn't come out as crisp as I would have liked it, so I stamped that twice. But we'll only need one for this card. And I'm stamping out that sandwich. That's probably my favorite little image on this set, is that sandwich. It is just so adorable. You could literally stick that in the hands of any stamp set that you have. And then that cute little soda. So now I'm going to stamp out that little banner, and this stamp set's amazing. If for nothing else, that banner, you could use it with any of your sentiments, but then it comes with all those critters, which are adorable. And I stamped in there the sentiment, sending hugs, which I really like that sentiment. And then I'm going to put that little bird there into the tree, which I think will be really cute. And I'm going to stamp out from the Waffle Flower set a few little butterflies. It just helps build a little scene when you have different little aspects in it. And now I'm just going to stamp out some hearts, and that also came from that Waffle Flower set. And then I'm going to stamp out the cute little lamb, and oh my gosh, she's so stinking cute. It's so perfect that she's laying on her belly because it looks like she's just enjoying her little picnic. And then I put those little bunny ears there. You could totally make this into an Easter set, but I'm just going to cut off the little bunny ears and put the little bows onto her ears. So now using the Stars and Stripes set, I'm going to stamp out the little pinwheel, and I'll show you how I paper piece it. I stamped out two. The first one didn't come crisply, but the second one I did was perfect. So I'm stamping it onto the cardstock, and then I stamp it onto that pink paper, which came from that Lawn Fawn paper pad that I showed at the beginning. So I'm just setting this part aside. And I'm going to cut off those images that I didn't stamp as nicely that I'm not going to use. So these are all the stamps, images that you'll need for this project. And now I'm going to use my copics and color in the copic part. That's one thing when you do paper piecing. If you're going to add any copic coloring on it, it's important to do that before you put down your paper piecing, because sometimes the colors can run and then it will go into your project. So I'm using RV25 and RV14 just to add that cute little pink part in the middle. And then I'm just adding the little stem or like the wand of the, like the handle of that little pinwheel. And now using my fussy cutting scissors, I am just cutting out this little bit. So I'm just going around the whole outside and I'm leaving that black line showing. And then I'm going to cut off those little bits. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th. And I'm just showing here how you could totally color the other parts that are white there and use the paper piecing for the middle as well. That's another way that you could color it up. Now I'm using that Quickie glue stick pen, and I love those. Jamie sells these in the shop, and they're amazing for adding just a little bit of glue. And they're perfect for paper piecing because when you're cutting out these little tiny images, you don't want your fingers to be all sticky. So this just allows your fingers to be nice and clean. They're not full of glue, and you can just easily add these little bits on. Plus, usually with paper piecing, it's smaller areas, so it's nice that you can get in those tiny spots. So there's the little pinwheel, so cute. And now I'm just going to cut that little pinwheel out. And I'm just leaving a little bit of white around the edge. And this is just so cute. You could stick this in your critter's hands, but I just have it tucked in the grass like a little windmill kind of, or like a little pinwheel, just decorating the scene, I guess. So now I'm showing you that, and now I'm going to stick a little doodlebug pearl in the middle. I'm just going to use one of those little pink ones, and I'm just sticking it right there in the middle, and that looks so cute. How sweet is that? You could put a rhinestone in the middle, or any type of enamel dots that you have would look really cute as well. So now using that R25 and RV25 and RV14, I'm using my Copic markers to color in that little banner. Now I'm not doing any shading on the banner. I just wanted it to be simple. I just really want the sentiment there to be the main focal point of that banner. And now using those same colors, RV25 and RV14, I'm coloring up the little hearts. And I'm going to do the picnic basket in the same colors. And I was just using my colorless blender there. I went out of the line a little tiny bit. I find with the red Copics, they do bleed quite a bit. So you have to just be careful when you're coloring with them because they always seem to bleed for me. And now I'm doing this little cute picnic basket or the picnic blanket, and I'm just alternating so that some of those little squares are left white. And you could color that up so many different cute colors. It would be really sweet in red, but I wanted this card to have like a little pink theme. So now I'm coloring that all in. And now I'm going to color those little bows using that same color combo. And I think you could make the cutest Easter card with this if you left those little Easter ears on, that little lamb. But for today, I'm just going to cut around those little bows and use them on her ears just the way they are. So I'm just coloring up those little butterflies. I used Y15 and Y13 for the middle, and then I used RV4 and RV2 for the wings. And I'm just going to do that little bird. I'm using B02 and B00. I love that color combo. It's such a nice blue. It's like a perfect robin's egg blue. And then just some orange for her little beak. And now I'm going to do the little nest. So I'm using E55 and E53. And that looks perfect like that, but I actually go back in and I add a little bit of flicks just so it looks a little bit like straw, like little twigs making up the little nest. And I just added a little bit of green there to the apple stem. And I'm using R27 and R14 to color up that little apple. And now I'm going to be coloring in that little soda can. So I'm using YR07. YR04 and YR14. And it just looks so cute, like some orange pop. And now I'm going to color in the tomatoes on that sandwich. So I'm using R27 and R14. And then I'm doing the lettuce with YG03 and YG13. And now I'm going to do the cheese with Y38 and Y35. And then I'm going to color in the little bread with E55 and E53. And I absolutely just love that sandwich. It is literally the cutest thing. And the fun thing about that picnic stamp set is there's all different types of fruits in there. There's like little grapes and different things and strawberries, and there is little ants and all different types of elements that you can add to your scene, which are just so sweet. So I just colored in that little shading part using W1, and now I'm using E11 and E00 for the little lamb. And I just can't get over how cute this little lamb is. You just want to squeeze it and give it like a little hug. It's so cute. And then I used R20 for her little cheeks. And I used my white jelly pen to add 3 little dots. I always like doing that. And then using that black jelly pen, I added eyes and the little nose. And it makes it glossy. It looks so nice and finished. Now I'm going to color up that little part of the blanket that is sticking out of the basket, as well as the handle, using that pink color combo I've been using, which is RV25 and RV14. Now I'm going to color in that little basket, so I'm using E18. E15. And E13. And now I'm going to color in that little tree. So I'm going to start with E59 for the branches and the tree trunk. And E57. And then I'm going to use E55 just to blend that all out. And I think that has a nice shading to it. And now I'm going to do those leaves using YG13 and YG03. And I think you could also color that tree up really cute for a fall tree. So you could do like a little fall themed card and color it in all different really pretty colors of leaves. And you could even cut off that outside of the tree so that only the little leaves are showing, and then that would make it look for different seasons. So you could even make it look like the leaves are falling off for fall and have that outside portion cut off, or you could have it for spring and also have that little outside portion cut off. So I really liked how that stamp was created like that. It gives it more options for you to use. So now I'm just going to cut all of these out. And I just left this part in the video. Sometimes I don't put my cutting in the video, but just for this video, I have it in here this time. So I'm just cutting around the outside and I'm leaving some white on all of those. And for these ears, I'm just cutting right on the black line for those little bows. And so then she can have little pigtails, which are just so cute. You could put one bow on the front of her hair or one bow on the side, but I just gave her little pigtails. And then I used that little quickie glue pen to adhere those on. That little sandwich just gets me every time. It's so cute. So for all of them, I'm cutting a little bit of white showing. And then when I get to my banner, Actually, I think I'm going to cut the tree first. I think I saved the banner for last. So I cut out that little picnic basket, the little tree. And you could put multiple trees on your scene card. It would look really cute if you build like a little scene with it. So then I'm cutting right on the black line for the sentiment for that little banner there. I don't have any of the white showing. And now I'm going to show you how I layer it up. So I'm going to be using this A2 sized card. And I just got these at Michael's. There were like a huge pack of them you could get, which were really good value. So I got those. Now I'm going to layer on it using the Lawn Fawn Perfectly Plaid set. I'm going to use this really pretty summery looking plaid paper. Now I'm going to use my Lawn Fawn large stitch rectangle stackables, and I'm going to use the largest size to cut it out. And Jamie does have the new cross-stitched ones in the same size, and it'll be the large cross-stitched rectangle stackables. So I'll link that below. They're so cute. I just ordered some. So I'm going to layer that part up, and using my ATG gun, I'm going to adhere that base on. So that gives it a nice background and a little bit of color showing through. Now using this Lawn Fawn paper pad, it's called Let's Polka in the Meadow. I'm going to be using this blue polka dot for the background, and using this Avery L wonky stitch die, I'm going to be cutting that out, as well as this green one. So I'm going to use that die, and it's the largest size there. And I'm going to cut it out for both of them. So I cut one of them out with the blue, and then I cut one of them out with the green. And I'm just showing you that I cut them each out. So that's going to go there. So I'm adhering that. So the blue one's just going to stay right as it is and go right on there. And that wonky stitch die fits perfectly inside that Lawn Fawn stitched one. So it really has some nice layering there. Now that green one's going to go on there, and I want it to have the base with the grass. So using the Lawn Fawn grassy border die, I'm going to show you how I cut the grass. Now just to try to make the card similar to the one I showed last week, I'm just lining it up. So using my die, I cut that out there. As you can see, it cut out the little grass bit. And now I also want another layer of it in the back, so that some of it is in the forefront, some of it's in the back. So now I'm just going to cut it again with my die. So as you can see, I cut it once with the die and again, and I'm just showing that other piece I can use for another project. So they do come apart, which is totally fine, and I'm going to add some adhesive to the far left bottom of that because I want that front bit to be able to stick up. See how I'm kind of whisking it up there, like poking it up, because I want to be able to stick things into it. Now I completely line that one up, and again I add some adhesive at the bottom of it, and I just line it up right like that. So you could have it sticking down, you wouldn't even know that the two were separated, but I had those kind of flicked up. So now I'm going to start adding the items on just to see where they all go and make sure they fit. And the nice thing about that grass is because I didn't add adhesive at the top, I'm going to be able to stick things into it. So I'm just layering this up with all of my little bits and kind of getting an idea of where they're all going to go on there. And this is my favorite part, is always making the scene. After you have all the images cut, you can just move them around and make them all different, and it's just so fun. And then I have those little hearts there. Just going to add all those on. So now I kind of have an idea of where everything's going to go. So I can start to adhere my items. So I'm going to add that bird to the tree because I know where I want that. And I'm going to add that tree. So again, I'm sticking it down so that it has part of that grass behind it, and I'm sticking it into that front part of the grass so that it is having a little bit of grass coming up in front of it. And I'm going to add that little cute pinwheel. I just think that adds a little something there. It's so sweet. And I'm just going to move all these off to the side. I'm going to add on that little butterfly. I think it's nice to put things in front of the grass and behind the grass. It just gives an element of different layers. So that's why I have that butterfly on the front part. And now I'm adding the little picnic blanket and the little picnic basket. And I have it kind of overlapping the tree a little bit there. And I'm going to add in that little sandwich and this little pop bottle. And honestly, this stamp set is so cute. You could use any of your other stamps, and this is pretty much right now what's showing is mostly just the picnic stamps. So you could add in any critter you have from other stamp sets sitting there, and it would just look so sweet. So now I'm adding on that little banner and those little hearts. one more little butterfly there. And my ATG gun actually ran out right at the spot, and I literally had 2 hearts left to put, so I didn't want to stop the video and refill my ATG gun, so I just used that quickie glue pen to add down those little hearts, which was perfect. So now I'm just going to hold it up to the camera so you can get a nice close look and you can see all the stitching there and all the little details. So that is my card, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful for you guys to see how I made this card. So I will leave links below for all the products I used, and if you do head over to the shop, don't forget to use my coupon code CraftyGirl to save 10% on your order. As always, thank you guys for your sweet comments and for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.